Today I'm celebrating, and please excuse any mispronunciation here, Sergei Prokofiev. He is the composer that was responsible for Peter and the Wolf, which was the classical telling of the famous fable. And I feel really motivated to include him in this genius tree in these 365 festivals, pretty much on the basis of that piece of work alone. Now, he is an amazing composer, and I am familiar with lots of his other works, and yet it is this one piece that I have seen have such a profound effect on the young people in my life that I really want to honour him, because in that telling of Peter and the Wolf, he uses the orchestration to be able to introduce children to the idea of melody and music and particular instruments as having tonal qualities that can represent things. It kind of gives a doorway into appreciating the symbolic world of music. You know, music is something that we can just appreciate for the sound that it, literally for the sound waves hitting our ears and our bodies, just to appreciate the sense of vibrations that a musician sends through our bodies. And yet it is also it can be this incredible symbolic journey where we can interpret the melodies and the harmonies that we are hearing as the telling of profound stories. And it's funny because it's a skill that is somewhat being lost today. The commercial music of today. I mean, I remember when I was a young boy, people talking about, oh, music is not what it was. And that decline in popular music has continued. When you look at the complexity of the writing of the Beatles, let's say, compared to what you see in the charts today, the difference is just enormous. But forgetting the commercial music that's out there, there's still incredible music that's being recorded, and yet it's very rare that we see something with the depth and the breadth of expression that you can find in the old classical music, where you can imagine people being able to sit down and listen to music for an hour and have a story told to them without any words, where a composer was able to develop themes, introduce instruments that had particular voices and said things, and were then able to interpret those things into a much broader story. You know, it's incredible, because now I think that seems to be a pretty much lost art, and so I'm so glad for things like Peter and the Wolf, where Sergei Prokofiev gave young people that doorway in, that opportunity to think about instruments and melodies as sentences and phrases and narrative voices in the telling of much deeper and much more beautiful stories. So today I'm celebrating Sergei Prokofiev.